Welcome everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Usually here I configure Neovim, but today I want to use and interact with a command line application called aichat. aichat is a pretty cool application. Here is the GitHub profile, Sai Goden aichat, and it integrates and interacts really well via the command line, but also it has other features with very many leading LLM providers, and many of those also provide for certain models free API keys for which I registered previously. So the prerequisite is that you have aichat installed and you have a couple of models with an API key already done. I'm not going to show that here. So I created a couple of functions. Here it's in the folded part with my little functions. And up here are the two little functions I created a couple of videos ago. They still work. I definitely use the to-do one. But here is the part to interact with aichat. So here I just want to take the current line, and there is a Vim API and Vim get current line. Then I want to move one line down in the file and open a new file, and then just read or put the output of the aichat CLI command into that current file from which I used the line. Now let's test that just in a Scratch file, a markdown file. Let's write a question. Can you help a beginner to configure Neovim using Lua? Now colon Lua, and let's find that function for the current line, and let's see what happens. And it created 87 more lines. Quite cool. Some of the options. Oh, it uses Packer, not lazy or Minidet. Telescope. Here probably the wrong language server name. I think it's now called Lua_ls. And some cool explanations. Very well. That worked super. Now switching back again to this little function that worked out just perfectly. Next. What if I don't want to submit into the CLI not only a line but the entire content of the file? Here we also have an API function nvim-buff getLines. The first 0, as you can see in the comments above, represents the current buffer. The second 0 is the start line, so the beginning of the file. The third -1 is the end line, so the end of the file. And the true is a flag that just checks whether to include the new line characters. This returns a Lua table that is not really human readable. So in the next line, I'm using Vim inspect to make it readable. And then, as usual, go to the end of the file, go to new line, and submit that entire thing to the command line interface. That's it. I'm not gonna demonstrate this one. I think it's pretty straightforward. So to the next. What if I only want to submit the visual selection? Here I get the start and the end of the visual selection, and this returns the line number and the cursor number, but I'm gonna assume here we only want the line number, which I pick here. This only takes out the line number argument from the start and then also from the bottom. Then I get all those lines that are selected and loop through all those lines and sort of concatenate it to the result variable. Then, as usual, just send the entire thing over to aichat. Now, I wanted to have a little more fun, to use also different LLM models. So I created a very, very simple, basic menu here with a few of the models for which I have the free API key. OpenRouter, I think, offers 40-50 models for free. So here I just list them, and then when selected, I assign them to a variable that I can use later. What I'm doing here, doing everywhere global variables with the capitalized variable names is probably a really bad idea. You should use local functions, local variables in most places, I'm sure. But this is more for a hobbyist to try out some things. Obviously, should also not have everything in a file, but import those as plugins. Then here I'm going to just adjust the current file one by calling this show menu function and then integrate it here in the aichat command, so it selects that model previously chosen. Let's see if that works. Let's test it out and move to the Scratch file, and let's call that function. Second one, and here you can select with a number, and it's probably relatively easy to use mini.pick or telescope or another picker to select those, and then let's see what, in this case, DeepSeek provides as an answer. So, success for me. It also worked, and here we see basic settings, some options, using Packer again, still no AI using Lazy or Mini as a package manager. Very nice color scheme, status line, telescope, some telescope mappings. Very cool answer. I really like it. Instructions how to use it. Oh, it even realizes the custom location that I have for this video. And with that, we reach the end. For anyone who made it to the end, thank you very much for watching or listening. Little disclaimer as usual, I am just a beginner trying to learn, so this is probably not the very best code or coding conventions, but it's a ton of fun for me to do. So I wish you all a great day or evening or night, wherever you may be, and take care of yourselves.